What's up, Rubits? Little Big Robots back video. You watch, subscribe, blah blah blah, all that stuff. You guys and gals and others will have to forgive me when I don't know what half this stuff is. I don't watch a lot of anime. I've seen some really great anime, don't get me wrong, but there's so much of it out there, I just don't catch up. This one sounded really cool. This is the Gunleon from, I believe, Super Robot Wars. And this is an example of a kit that I buy because it looks cool. It's big and bulky and stuff. I thought it was going to be larger. You know, I tend not to go and watch reviews. By the way, here, if you want to see some of its movement abilities and articulation, you can definitely do that right here. I'm not going to go through every little aspect of that because it's boring. But I am going to quote unquote transform it or whatever. Anyway, this one sounded cool. I think it's called Super Robot Wars. I like the big wrench. It's the size of your real life wrench if you use one. A wrench is probably my favorite tool in my... let me show you real quick actually what I'm talking about. This guy right here, as beat up and rusty it is, one of my favorite tools for gunpla. Gripping stuff is really hard sometimes, and this is really, you could survive off of a desert island with this. It could be your hammer, it could kill stuff, it could whatever. So anyway, it was kind of fun to see. There's a real life wrench comparison. To see this, I don't know why it uses a wrench. I don't know who this person is. I will definitely look it up. If anybody wants to give me a quick sum up, it's in the comments. That would be fantastic. I rely on a lot of my people who come and check out my videos they give me a quick run. They'll be like, oh, that's a giant robot from so-and-so, and he's the most powerful in the world, or whatever, you know. So I appreciate all the information. This looks cool. I need to check out the anime for sure, because if it sounds like it's about giant battling robots, and that's cool. These aren't really leftover parts, but you do get a lot of bits and stuff left for the quote-unquote transformation. I'll have to do that. I'll probably have to pause it and come back and piece the video together, because you get some hands and stuff that's expected, but then you also have these parts you attach to the head. Now, I have to be honest, I pretty much rarely, if ever, enjoy a transforming gunpla kit, robot kit, whatever. Oh, and by the way, they do give you a cool stand. It's a really nice little stand, too. I really like this stand. I like how it moves. I'd like to buy more of these. I wish they would just sell those. It's a really nice stand, and it's for the wrench thing. And I'll show that once I transform it or whatever. But I like when a kit gives you everything you need, you know. 60 some odd bucks. It is a good size kit, as you can see. In fact, I've got my little, where's my little tape measure here? Sorry, everybody out there. I'm not really, I don't do great at metric or whatever you call it. So that's about, it gives you an idea of about how tall he is. I need to start learning the other measurements and stuff, kilometers, all that stuff, just because I think the world will all use that one day. Anyway, so you're going to see a few nub marks. I assemble these quick so I can get them for review. Even with that, a lot of these parts were, not all, but quite a few were undergated, which meant, see if I can find an example. This is not a good example, but you see how the line right there, that's where it comes, that's where it's pumped in to create this. There's a mold, goes down like that, and this is the little line where it pumps it in or whatever, little channel. Now that one's on the side, as you can see there, it's on the side of the piece. So when you cut that, you're cutting off on the side, so you have to kind of cut that down. Some pieces, I don't know if I have any in here. I wanted to say a few were undergated, but not too many actually. It's not really a good example, but undergating is when the channel comes underneath the piece, or kind of in an area where it would be kind of hidden after you cut it. So it's a little easier. At the same time, it can be a little more of a challenge because you've got to deal with that undergating. Anyway, so this is what it looks like. Some really nice details. These are stickers here. These are all color separated parts. There are some stickers like this. Here are these little jaggedy lines, that little sticker. There's actually quite a few stickers. And I don't think I placed them all on. I forgot to put these two. Where do those go? But you can see I put most of them. I don't mind stickers. I think stickers are great. So like here's stickers. They're a great, easy way to add a little color to stuff, but at the same time, they can be kind of, I don't want to say an excuse but for model kits to not have great color separation. But this is a good modern kit that shows you a combination of the two. See, the nub marks on the black are always kind of bad. I kind of go quick though, so you're gonna have to forgive the kit. There were some ridiculous stickers that I did not place, and there were some, like this one wasn't bad. There were some that were just kind of, I was kind of like scratching my head at. But these parts right here, this is basically like a little saw. So you take this, it's a little saw blade. This part comes out. Let's see if I can do that. So let's say you take this part out and you replace it with, do I have the wrong one? I have the wrong one. Well, I can still put it in there. You replace it with the little thing like that. This sticker right here, if you can see that, it's almost like a cardstock, a plastic cardstock. This sticker was so fun to put on. It's so satisfying. These two stickers on each side, so 4 stickers in total. It was this nice thick plastic, just chunky cardstock, and what was so great about that is it just peeled off nice and stiff. It slotted into that. Very, very satisfying, if you know what I'm trying to say. Just a really cool sticker. I know they couldn't make them all like that, where they're almost like a cardstock, because they would have to recess parts. So for example, if I put a sticker here, which is raised a little bit, that would actually have to be recessed a bit, because this has some thickness to it. But that was just a fun sticker. It's the first time I've ever had a sticker, I believe, that was that kind of like almost like a plastic cardstock. Really, really cool. So there's definitely some quality parts in here. He has these wing thingies. They fold out, as you can see. I mean, it's got a lot of cool little gimmicks. I just don't really know what they are, so you'll have to forgive me. But it does look cool. These all fold out. I believe this is all part of the quote-unquote transformation. He's got his little guns back here connected to his wings, which I like it's nice little pistols. Of course, a really simple little build. You just snap them two together like that. But you could definitely paint those. Even just washing those would make them look great. I'm gonna take both of these off here. So there you go. You basically take these little saw blade things. You take that little ridge there, that little piece, and you just pop it out. See that? I mean, it fits. Everything is real high quality. I mean, this is a modern, pricier kit. I mean, not really pricier, $60. But what you get nowadays is just ridiculous. It's really hard to find a really bad model kit these days, unless they're like the Scope Dog by Bandai, that recent one that I really hated because it left out so much stuff, especially in this time and day and age of really nice model kits. You've got all these weird little grabby bits. I think this, again, I'll quote-unquote transform it and see what it does. Just weird stuff, weird wild stuff. These come off, I believe they're like a little, I don't know, blades of some kind. I don't know if they attach to his hands or whatever. Again, I'll put it together and I'll see what I figured out, if I can figure it out. Everything moves and poses as you would expect, really, really nicely. You can get them into some crazy fun positions. I'm not going to do all that stuff because, again, that stuff is just boring. But if you could basically imagine the position or the pose you want to put the sucker in, and you could do that, as long as the stuff that he's adorned with is not kind of getting in the way. This backpack is really interesting because it pulls off out of this slot here. See if I can do that. It's a little bit tough because everything does fit so nicely together. Let me see if I can do it. I think I had to just wiggle it. That's generally the method for most. There you go. So you got this really cool. I mean, you could use this on all sorts of other stuff. This part here reminds me of Iron-Blooded Orphans. Their backpacks were kind of like that. Really nice looking. Does all this. But this is, look how tight that is together. It's not real floppy. I like them, of course, without the giant backpack. I like my bots to be pretty bare. I thought it was going to do some kind of transformation with the lion face here. His mouth comes down. He has a rawr mouth face, a mouth, which is always interesting. So just I guess he likes wrenches or something. I don't know. Again, I'd have to look. I'd have to look this up. So forgive me. The hands are a bit ugly, the fisty hands, but you do get some neat, grabby hands. Again, for this price, I wish they would have made. I think kits should start including a little bit nicer hands. If they are in a frozen position or in a static position. Oh my God, my cat's reaching under the door. At least give you like 6 or 10 different, positions, a pointy finger, all that kind of stuff. This is a bit too few for me, but you do get all this cool detail here. As you can see, all this stuff. Like if you take off all the extra stuff, like these things here. Now, granted, you have these little nubbins to connect everything to. That one pulled it out. Look at that. Came out of it with it. You can see how he looks when he's kind of bare, and I actually really like that. His feet are ginormous, but that's fine. A mech should have pretty big feet. So, you know, it's definitely an anime-looking thing. I just don't know what all this is. So, again, forgive me. But I'm going to probably take a moment, transform it, quote-unquote, real quick, come back and see what that's all about. Okay, so basically this is basic. I'm not doing all of it. I'm not redoing the knees and stuff, but this gives you a basic idea. It is, you know, you can add these on there with some more stickers. I didn't want to cut all those parts. I just want to leave them like that. I'm not quite sure what all this is. I really need to look this up. But what's funny is as I'm playing with this, though, you really get an idea of the quality of parts nowadays. They're just a nice feeling for most of these parts. It was really fun to put together. The build didn't blow me away as far as like, oh wow, that part is so interesting. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, it's kind of like that, but it's more like that's kind of strange how stuff is being built. But I think it's because of the lion face, like his little lion face. He gets like open eyes and then angy eyes or closed eyes or whatever. So, you know, little parts are kind of interesting. The head even was, I didn't put the extra parts on the head, which are right. Jeez Louise. Anyway, they're around here somewhere. So I didn't add all that. But, you know, everything you build in this is kind of different. It's not like it's a variation on a really improvised or a really improved variation on a theme, how you build this, but it's almost like a brand new thing in some ways, like just a design. I'm so used to Gunpla and some tanks and other type of model kits that, you know, some of this stuff is just really outrageous. The handles, just, I have no idea what this is, but it's a really fun, interesting kit. That would look cool on your shelf like this. Then you've got the cool big weapon thing, this grabby, pokey, you drilly thing. And what's cool is with that stand, you can grab that and he can hold it, you know, on the shelf in different positions and stuff. And so that's why that is there. Honest to gosh, I'm going to put this in my box of weapons or attach it to them, and I'm going to use the stand for something else. It's a great stand. I would buy many more of these stands. Right now what I use are these basic cheap ones. They're about $2 a piece. You get them on Amazon for about $2 a piece. They're overall great for action figures, even Gunpla stuff, but this guy here is just a bit more sturdy. And I do wonder where I can buy others. So this is kind of fun. The weapon is fun. Again, but you kind of have to know the lore in a way. But it has these interesting little quote-unquote transformations, which some of them are really just you pulling a part off like that and you're re-putting it back on. But this here, that handle closes down. It leaves one peg for the stand. These close in like this, which is fun. I mean, everything moves. It's like you know, it's much more like a toy than a model kit. But over time, of course, that will wear out. That's the difference between a model kit and a toy, really, is the sturdiness. This can stand up to a lot of play, sure, but over time, those you know, the rubber bits, I'm always losing the name of those things. Polycaps wear out over time, you know, and stuff. You can take stuff back apart and put it back together with fresh polycaps if you have to. But overall, this is probably going to hold a position for a long time. There are just some really interesting bits, like this part. When you push that gray part into there, it actually fits inside there, so that part slides in there. There's just some fun stuff, like you got these little, I'm supposed to turn those around, but those little ports there poke out, you know, but then they're hidden normally. So you know, it's a really, I don't want to say it's innovative as much as just unique, if that makes sense. So that's a nice little shot. Let's get a little camera shot at it. So great kit. I'm glad I got it. Like for 60 some odd bucks, you get a ton of plastic. That's about par for the course these days. With Gundam kits, Gunpla kits, although this is not a Gundam kit, this is from some other IP, but still a Bandai kit. As you can see, very, very sturdy. I mean, I could probably hold them up with one leg. Yeah, I mean, that's that's pretty sturdy. Now, granted, that's a lot of it's because of the polycap, but just the design in general. So really cool. I like the colors. Orange and black is a real favorite color scheme of mine. I think it looks kind of sporty and fun. So fantastic. Anyway, let me know what you think. I keep wanting to try more and more unique kits I've never gotten. So if you have any in mind, other than scope dogs and stuff, because I've done all those, you know, some weird one like this, Monster Robot Wars or whatever, let me know in the comments. Always suggest something that you have seen that I haven't built before, because I'm always looking for non-Bandai or non-Gunpla kits to keep, you know, to keep stuff interesting. Have a good one, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.